Please rise as you are willing and able for our hymn from the smaller teal hymnal number 1062, All Around the Child. We bid you welcome. In this community of radical inclusion, we make space for what you believe and for what you love. Your whole self is welcome here. In this community of open-hearted inclusion for all people, we do not expect that you think a certain way or restrict yourself to a certain set of beliefs. We only ask that you try to live your kindly, helpful life with the dignity proper to a human being. Welcome all who believe that religion is wider than any sect and deeper than any set of opinions. Welcome all who might find in our friendship strength and encouragement for daily living. We are so grateful that you are here. My name is Nathan Whitehead. I am your layperson service leader today. Thank you for spending your Sunday morning with us, whether you're enjoying your time here with us in person or online. Hello. Today, we're fortunate to have a guest speaker with us today. Lee Zuba is here today. I'll tell you a little bit more about her a little bit later on in this service. And I'd also like to extend a special welcome today to any visitors who may be joining us. After the service, we invite you to stay for coffee and bagels downstairs and conversation in our reception hall. And for everyone, if you don't mind taking a moment to silence your cell phones, something I forget to do all the time. But if you want, you can feel free to take pictures and share it with your friends, though, on social media. We've got a couple announcements this week. Save the World. Save the World is a club. It meets twice a month here in the evenings, and they're meeting tonight. Save the World, and they're having a special guest speaker tonight, Kyle Stewart, in the back. He is actually speaking today to talk to you about how to protect yourself and your privacy in today's world, both digitally and in real life. So everybody's welcome to attend. That's tonight at 7 o'clock. Just a quick reminder that next week's service is not here. Don't come here. It's at Northwest UU. Reverend Julie will be speaking about a racehorse named Seabiscuit. So join us there. And then mark on your calendar, September 14th is our church picnic. It's going to be in Novi at Lakeshore Park. There will be no Sunday service here this week. Instead, we're all going to hang out there. So hot dogs, meat and non-meat varieties will be provided. It's also a potluck, so start, picking out your favorite sides to bring and share with everybody. If there's any other announcements that you have, anybody else have something that needs to be communicated to everybody? Sweet. Check the social media, Facebook, the e-blast, everything like that. There's all sorts of stuff going on at the church, so see what else is going on. Our chalice lighting today is from Kathleen McTeague. We come together this morning to remind one another to rest for a moment from the forming edges of our lives, to resist the headlong tumble into the next moment until we claim for ourselves awareness and gratitude, taking the time to look into one another's faces and see their communion, the reflection of our own eyes. This house of laughter, silence, memory, and hope is hallowed by our presence together. Now, please join me in reciting our UUCF mission statement, which can be found in your order of service. We seek answers everywhere, include everyone, and live with compassion. Our moment for meditation is titled A Prayer Against Apathy. Nature is only ever at work. Take stock of the world around you, constantly in movement, each action suited to its end. Fire, with its ferocity and veracity, devours, ignites, it roars its presence, it illuminates the front. From it, people recoil. It singes and scars, but it also clears space. Some of us must act like fire. Water, with its elegant erosive powers, steady is the flow of its work. With direction, sustainability, a river is what nourishes and carves. Not a typhoon which destroys indiscriminately, recedes, and leaves people in drought. Some of us must act like water. Earth, with its food to eat and generative soil, its many forms of living companions to comfort us in times of solitude, of loss. Earth rejuvenates and holds us. Some of us must act like earth. Air, so integral to all of us, we must remind ourselves to notice our breath. Not one of us lives without it. No one of us is untouched by it. It cannot help but give and forgive. Single-minded, it knows everything as one. Some of us must act like air. May we each model in our natures the best in nature, eternally changing, knowing only movement, and an urge to create life. That moves us into joys and sorrows. May we move with the rhythms of peace. May we move with the rhythms of compassion. May we move with the rhythms of justice. Source of stars and planets and water and land, open our hearts to all of our neighbors. Open our hands to join together in the work ahead. You are welcome to pick up a stone or stones from the table, infuse or charge it with a joy or sorrow, and place it in the singing bowl where its energy will ripple out to all of us. Or if you'd like, you can verbally share something important from your heart. You can come up and speak directly into the microphone, and everyone is welcome to participate in any of these ways. that rest in this silent sanctuary of our hearts. One for the joys, one for the strength. Ooh. One for the joys, one for the sorrows, and one for the strength of the gathered community that can support you and bring you peace, if not light.
We're trying. Having some technical difficulties. Okay. Got it.
Thank you. All right. Now, but you can remain seated for our next song, our meditation song from the Gray Hymnal. It's number 409, Sleep, My Child. Our reading comes from Khalil Gibran, Your Children. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them our love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, not tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite and bends you with might that the arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. We are so fortunate today to have Lee Zuba joining us this morning. She is the Development and Community Relations Officer for Global Health Charities. In this role, she is responsible for fundraising, grant writing, community engagement, and much more. Her background is in sales, and after taking time to raise her two sons, she decided to pivot into the nonprofit world, and this is where she's found it to be the most fulfilling work that she's ever done. So we're going to welcome Lee. We've got a presentation first, and then Lee.
And childbirth should be one. Pregnancy and childbirth should be one of the most joyful times of a woman's life. You are carrying this child, you're excited to have this new baby, and the child's protected. And then labor comes. In many communities in developed countries, we have prenatal care. When we go into labor, we're birthing in a hospital or a good, clean healthcare setting. But for some women, that's not the case. Global Health Charities focused on global health, but we're also a charity. We have 4 major programs right now that we're working on. One of them is our signature program. It would be the Clean Birth Kit program, where we supply very basic items to women to provide for a clean birth, a healthy birth. That has been a wonderful program, and we're very excited to form new partnerships and really grow that program.
Having a clean birthing experience is critical to reduce infant and maternal infection and mortality. So the Clean Birth Kit program goal is to really provide clean supplies so that a rural situation where a mother can't get to a hospital and is birthing either at home or at a clinic or with a traditional birth attendant, they have access to really one of the critical items is a clean razor to cut the umbilical cord, and some simple things like string to tie the umbilical cord, gauze to clean the baby, and alcohol swabs. And so it's a very simple kit.
I mean, we are very grateful for the Global Health Charity for the birth kits. It's a wonderful package which has been donated to us, and especially very, very useful for our rural setup. We are going to hand it over to the medical superintendent there, and which will be utilized for all the deliveries, which come there. In the rural areas, the major cause of maternal mortality and infant mortality out there is, because you don't have the supplies or the kits for the deliveries as well. So, and sometimes there is a lot of sepsis and infections and all that. So this kit contains everything which is required for a safe delivery, and it would be very, very helpful to prevent mortality.
Let's try this first passage as best.
I'm very passionate about Global Health Charities, and that as we go through life, I think we gain more understanding of who we are as humans and how we connect to other humans. It's an issue of wanting a better humanity overall and leaving the world a better place. I want to make life better for mothers who are doing the best they can and raising their children and delivering children in these rural places and these remote places.
We're at home in Michigan working with volunteers to assemble these kits, and people from all sorts of organizations like Ford Motor Company and Detroit Catholic Central and St. Catherine's, and schools and churches and hospitals, and this whole spectrum of organizations who have people who volunteer and who find meaning in this work and who donate items. We had the opportunity to deliver in person the clean birth kits that have been assembled in Detroit by a number of volunteers, and being able to deliver those personally was really important to us and gave us an opportunity to learn and speak directly to the traditional birth attendants who are using them, who haven't had birth kits in over 8 months, and shared with us some of the circumstances and situations that they get into with these births that are extremely difficult and really difficult to access areas. So knowing that these birth kits can help save a mom's life and save a baby's life is tremendous for us, and getting those directly into the hands of the TBAs was a really important part of our effort, and sort of closing the loop from seeing the volunteers back in Michigan who are putting these together and then being able to take those same bags and hand them over was just really meaningful.
This is like Christmas. This is Christmas. Thank you. I have no idea.
Oh, wow. So happy.
One of the interesting things about philanthropy or charity is that it doesn't matter where you're at. If you're in the States, you're in downtown Charleston, South Carolina, or you're here in Ho Chi Minh City, or you're up in Gurkha, Nepal, there's a common humanity that we all have. When someone hurts, we all feel it. And so we're excited about taking the stories and the outcomes that we've seen way out in the field, and then going back and completing that story with these individuals, just to let them know that while you had a good time and you felt like you did good, you not only felt like you did good, you really made a real difference to people that really needed it. That's what global philanthropy really is all about.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to say thank you for inviting me here to speak. So Global Health Charities, we are here in Farmington. We are on Grand River, or off of Grand River on Cass, between Grand River and Shiawassee, that little section of Cass Road there. We were started by Patty, who was speaking. Patty worked in the international division for Mercy Health, which is now Trinity Health. They used to work with partners around the world and go into socioeconomically depressed areas around the world and build hospitals in partnerships with those countries' governments or private equity. And then when healthcare stopped being as profitable it used to be, they kind of shut that down. They shut down that division. And so Patty started her own business, which is Global Health Service Network. And that's what she does today. They get hired and they plan and they build and they operate and staff hospitals. She is currently working in Oman, Rwanda, and Mozambique. And so that experience, plus Patty's life as the child of a diplomat, where she lived in places like Thailand and Pakistan and other places where she was wealthy as the child of a diplomat, but had a sister who had a chronic illness and would have to go to local clinics. and saw firsthand the disparity in healthcare that her sister got versus the local people that were poor, where they would walk in, be seen right away, and then her sister would have to come back. She had a blood issue and come back 2 days later, and those same people would still be sitting there waiting for healthcare. And then, so when Patty started her own business, and she would go into these areas, and they would get a budget to operate the hospital, but they still, even though they were helping some people, there were still people that weren't getting the health care. And she noticed the majority of that were women. And a lot of countries in those areas, especially Southeast Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa, women don't get the focus, especially pregnant women, that they need and deserve. And so she's like, I'm here anyway, I'm gonna start a charity. And so she's like, when you look at the numbers, you saw the numbers, they're actually a little bit better. This video is a few years old. So currently it is 2.5 million babies and 287,000 women die every year during the childbirth process. 95% of those deaths happen in developing nations. 90% of those deaths are preventable. Infection is the second leading cause, and so that's where Patty was like, I can't help a woman get to a prenatal visit, I can't help her do that, but I can provide 11 items in this small package that offers a clean birth environment. So when she started Global Health Charities, this is what they focused on. We also do some skilled birth attendant training as well, but this is the big focus of our program. So to date, we have shipped out over 30,000 clean birth kits. Every birth kit saves a mom, a baby, and there is a lot of statistical evidence that children under the age of 10 in these households, when mom dies, their chance of death increases, of mortality increases by 4 times with mom being gone in these areas, because mom is so responsible for keeping them healthy and fed and things like that in a lot of these countries. So Patty started the charity, and they started it by doing, you saw some of in the video, we host clean birth kit assembly events. We're doing one with Ford Motor Company, we do them with churches, we go to the high schools, we've done 10-lady book clubs. Volunteers assemble the kits, and it's 11 simple items. Probably most of these, except an umbilical cord clamp, are probably in your house. The first item is the bag. So we've decided, we used to ship them in Ziplocs, but the problem with the Ziploc is when it goes through customs, people can open it and take things out. And they're not totally sealed, so they can get dusty, moisture can get in if they're going somewhere that's tropical, and the razor blade can rust. So we vacuum sealed them. The other benefit is we can get more into packaging, because shipping is a lot of our cost. Or if we're having like a medical mission group go and they're packing suitcases, we can get almost twice as many birth kits if they're vacuum sealed into a suitcase or a bag or something. So, and then once the bag is opened and the contents removed, the bag can be used to transport water. If wherever the woman is giving birth doesn't have like a water source, you can go and bring it, because obviously clean hands are a big part of keeping that birth area clean. So the other items in here are soap, and then there's 2 sets of gloves. A lot of times the woman giving birth is also helping deliver her own baby. And then there is a pictorial, and it's directions on how to deliver a baby, because sometimes our birth kits go to places like the Ukraine and Palestine, where 2-3 years ago, you could go to a hospital, but that hospital's not there anymore. And they don't have skilled birth attendants because you didn't used to need that, and all of a sudden you do. So your neighbor who doesn't know how to deliver a baby might be helping you deliver a baby. And then there's an alcohol prep pads and a razor blade, and this is the most important part of our birth kit, because in places where they don't have access, people will cut the umbilical cord with dirty knives, dirty scissors, dirty glass, hardened cow dung. introducing bacteria right into the bloodstream of mom and baby right there. And then there's a baby hat and a baby blanket, and then an umbilical cord clamp. There's plastic sheeting in here which provides the clean birth surface. So these simple 11 items save lives. So what we go out into the community and we host events, and it's twofold. We go into, especially in the high schools, we've gone into CC and Mercy and St. Cat's and Farmington High School and West Bloomfield and others, and the kids get to watch this presentation. And a lot of these kids, mine included, think people go to a hospital and you have a baby and it's easy peasy lemon squeezy, and they have no idea the conditions around the world. So it's really eye-opening for a lot of these kids to understand how incredibly fortunate we are in this country and the circumstances that exist around the world. And we've had several, just this past year, we've had several young men from Catholic Central, which shocked me because I never think these kids are paying attention, after they've graduated, come back to us and bring our birth kit events up to the University of Michigan and to their churches and that, because they were so impacted by what they learned, which is amazing, because they're then taking this with them for the rest of their lives. And I'm a firm believer that service is something, if you teach your kids young, they will carry that with them for the rest of their lives. So I absolutely love that part of our program. So we've shipped out over 30,000 kits. Our most recent bunch of kits went to Haiti. We are only here in Farmington, so we have to have a partner NGO somewhere to accept them, to help us get them into the country, and then to be able to disperse them out into the community. And Haiti has been on our list and our radar for a long time, because I don't know if everyone's aware, but Haiti is a mess right now. The gang violence in Haiti, the gangs control 85% of Port-au-Prince, which is the capital. At any point, if they decide to cut off the gangs decide to cut off the food supply, half of the Haitian population will starve to death in 6 months. I mean, it's really bad. So we've partnered with a group called Mama Baby Haiti in the north, and they run 2 clinics and a school of midwifery, and we ship them 1,200 kits. We got in contact with them, and they have a shipper that's going, and we're also going to be able to provide their midwives and their skilled birth attendants with some training as well. We offer a Helping Babies Breathe program in a lot of places in the world where people aren't educated, like we have nurses that just get all this training. If a baby's born and it's not breathing, they will just set it aside. And it's like 30 seconds of just, clearing an airway, but they just don't know. And so that's one of the other programs that we offer. We also offer a BEST training, which is birth emergency skills training, and that's a little bit of prenatal and then postnatal, just making sure mom's okay, like, checking for preeclampsia and then bleeding afterwards, and just kind of helping make things aware that mom's okay. And in Haiti, again, that's something that they are desperately in need for. And they got their shipment, and they love these, because even, the women can't, you might used to be able, the hospital might still be there, but you might have to go through gang-controlled area and you can't get there anymore. Or, you would had to do it on foot, but now the clinic has vehicles, and so they throw these in the back of the vehicle, and they'll head out to people's homes, and they're delivering. They used to deliver about 300 baby in home, and they're up to about 1,000 a year now because of how bad the gang violence is. The other place I mentioned, Palestine and Ukraine, we've shipped about 1,400 kits to Palestine. We have 2 groups. One is in Beverly Hills, Michigan, and it's called Rama Worldwide, and they are a Doctors Without Borders program. And this was some of the first non-governmental aid that got in there, and medical mission work. We did an event with the central staffing nurses at U of M, and one of them came up to us and said, I work with a group of surgeons called Fajir Worldwide, and they go out and they do surgeries around the world, and they took 1,000 kits to Palestine and Pakistan. So again, putting them in suitcases, we vacuum seal them so they can get more in. Nigeria is one place that we've shipped more kits than we've shipped anywhere else. We work with the Daughters of Charity. They actually help us because they cover the shipping for us. And they run 8 clinics in River State, and they started about 7 years ago. Nigeria has the second highest infant mortality rate in the world. And in their 8 clinics, they devised a program where they incentivize the women because they know about the birth kits, and they tell them, if you come to 3 prenatal visits, we'll give you a birth kit. They haven't lost a baby in 7 years. Because it's not just the birth kit, they're catching the preeclampsia, they're catching all the other things that they would. So the programs, you know, they're sharing that with all the other Daughters of Charity around the world. So they're catching all of these things that wouldn't have been caught. So between the 2 programs together, it's really making a difference for the women around the world. So we'd love to come in if you guys are interested. We'd love to do an assembly event with you guys. We did one at my mom's church. We came in with a lot of this stuff pre-assembled. There was a little 3-year-old girl that was making birth kits with my mom, who's 85 and has dementia, and they were doing it together, and it worked out great. And like I said, we just got a big grant from Ford, so we're going to go into Ford. Ford Motor Company does service days for everybody that works there, and they can pick. Like Gleaners comes in, and you can pick, and so we'll come in and we'll do that. Yeah, we would love to come back. We're always looking for volunteers as well. We host a couple of events. If anybody went to Founders Festival, we were in the parking lot of Dr. Joe Williams. He's actually the husband of my founder, by the Firestone off of Farmington there. And everybody can come by and build a birth kit for free. So we need volunteers for that. We host a gala and a glow. The glow is actually at our office on Cass. We always need volunteers for that. We need volunteers to help us host the assembly events at different churches, at different schools, at different places, just extra people to help out. So sometimes we do need help we'll go to an event and all the kits won't get sealed because that takes a long time. So sometimes we need people to pop into the office and do some things like that too. So if anybody's ever interested, our QR code's on here. You can reach out to me. I'm going to be downstairs after. I've got some cards. If you guys want to stay in touch, we'd love the help. If you want to get involved, we'd appreciate it. So, thank you.
Such a cool organization. Thank you for telling us some more about it. People say, what is the sense of our small effort? They cannot see that we must lay one brick at a time, take one step at a time. A pebble cast into a pond causes ripples that spread in all directions. Each one of our thoughts, words, and deeds is like that. No one has a right to sit down and feel hopeless. There's too much work to do. Today we'll be collecting for Lee's organization, Global Health Charities. You can use the envelopes that you guys have when you came in, were given, or as Lee mentioned, there's a QR code on the back of the order of service there that you can use. And there's also options to purchase items for clean birth kits on our Amazon wish list. So check that out too. And all those options are available on their website. And so you are now invited to participate in the blessing of giving as the ushers come amongst you to accept your gifts from the congregation. Thank you. Please join me in reciting the offertory blessing that can be found in your order of service. To the work of creating beloved community within and beyond these walls, we dedicate ourselves and our offerings. Now please rise as you are willing and able to sing from our gray hymnal number 134, Our World is One World. Our closing words today come from Metta Sutta. Let us cultivate boundless goodwill. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none in anger or ill will wish another harm. Even as a mother watches over her child, so with boundless mind should one cherish all living beings, radiating friendliness over the whole world, above, below, and all around, without limit. Have a great week.